A listener DM me and asked, can you do an episode on online dating and why the dating pool is so disappointing? I absolutely can. This is Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Show starts right now. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG. It's Wednesday, so this is a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. It's still our short, bullshit-free step out of our comfort zone to talk about all the emotional ups and downs along the journey to happiness. Hopefully, this is our midweek reminder of how dope it is to be black gay men who love black gay men. I am Jay the Gentleman. This is Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Now, let's get into the episode. I asked almost everybody who has been on this podcast the same question. Are you dating anybody? Some married, others committed relationships, like the guy we had on last week. Corday is in a committed relationship and married. But for everybody else, the answers get a little less concrete. It's as if we know what a marriage is when we're in one, if you can find one. We know what a relationship is when you're in one, if you can find one. But dating is a little more ambiguous. So today, I'm sharing 3 dating situations that I've recently been in and how I've come to understand 3 distinct stages of dating. Hopefully, this will help all of us understand where we are in the dating process so we can move one step further along our journey to happiness. But first, some church announcements. For everyone with the notifications turned on to our YouTube channel, you saw that we went live yesterday morning. Every Tuesday, and we're trying this new thing where we're going to be reacting to some viral content. Yesterday was the balloon pop challenge, which I have my opinions about. Next week, it'll be something different. But our goal is really to create more conversations that we all can engage in. That's why it's going to be live instead of pre-recorded, because I want to be able to hear from y'all in real time. It's going to be in the morning instead of at night, because gay folk are active during the day. And more importantly, it's going to happen every single week because I want to create a consistent space for us to have these conversations. So our Dear Black Gay Men in the Morning, it happened yesterday on Tuesday and will continue every single week until y'all tell me that you're tired of me. So check us out on Tuesday mornings right here live on YouTube. Then on Wednesday, of course, every Wednesday, the podcast is new. This podcast is new, where I talk about the ups and downs along my journey to happiness, which has taken a turn in the right direction, which I'm really excited about. So y'all get to see and hear and all the shenanigans that go on with my life. And then Thursday, I'm talking to a daddy who is in a relationship with a guy 10 years younger than him and a young guy who only dates daddies. We're talking age gap relationships on Dear Black Gay Men live on Thursdays. If you're loving this content, the easiest way to support what we do here is by joining our YouTube channel right here at Dear Black Gay Men. Members get exclusive access to behind the scenes content, channel perks, invitations to join us here in the back room, and so much more. Every membership level or super chat helps us keep creating this content every single week. You can just hit the join button right under this video or click the link in the description. That concludes our church announcements. Please govern thyself accordingly. I do that every week and I don't even know if y'all can hear it. This listener's whole message said this. It says, Jay, I watch your show every week. You give great advice. Thank you. You give great advice that I try to apply to my dating life, but I can't seem to get off the apps and meet a guy in real life. We'll swipe right on each other, but no messages, or I'll message them and they don't respond. What should I be doing to get offline and get in love, like you say on the podcast? Well, I'm glad you asked, listener. Dating is a combination of effort and time, with a secret ingredient that we'll talk about in a second. But one of the phases that I have been in, I have recently come out of, is what I call dating around, where you have the time and interest to date, but you don't really put a lot of effort into it. And that's absolutely okay. I asked Daniel Driffin, he was on a show a couple weeks ago, and we had a conversation about dating when you're living with HIV. If you want to watch the episode, you can click on the screen. It'll be up here for you to watch. But Daniel answered the question in a very, very unique way, like a lot of us do. He said he's not dating anyone specifically, but he's got time for a lunch or a cocktail. Before my current dating situation, I was the exact same way. I am trying to build a company here. I have a studio and my team, and we do our live show. And so my life just moves at a pace where I don't know if I can give a person enough time or effort or attention for him to be fulfilled. Now, granted enough, that has recently changed because I'm dating somebody. But I am always open to the idea of dating. It's just I didn't really put a lot of effort behind that openness. That's one phase, dating around. Another phase of dating is talking to someone. This is when you have the time to date and you're putting effort into a particular person. I think this is what we're all looking for. It's that weird phase before you're official. You're not in a relationship with a title, but you're definitely pursuing something specific with a specific person. My current situation, I call him Kevin on the podcast. I've talked a little bit about my experience with Kevin because he lights me up. I'm very excited about Kevin. But I would say that we are talking to each other. I will hope that he says that we're talking to each other too. I follow the 3-2-1 method of dating. You can click the link on this in the description or on the screen. I'll send you that video as well. But the third phase of dating, these are not in sequential order, but another phase of dating is just being single. If dating around is time but no effort, talking is time and effort, then single is no time, no effort. You're just living your best life. These are the girls that be, on the yachts, the planes, the trains, the automobiles. They be outside doing all the things, right? No shade to that because I have lived that life. I would like to live that life again, not as a single person, but I definitely want to live it. But a lot of us, we get stuck in this phase or we feel forced into this phase because disappointment or failed dating attempts. Our reflex as men is to recoil, to build emotional walls around ourselves and walk our own path when things don't pan out the way that we thought they should. When we put out emotional vulnerability and get back disappointment, it is reflex for us to just be like, I'm gonna just do me. I'm a fall all the way back. I'm a retreat into myself. And that's absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But Lamont White, the gay dating coach, he came on here and he asked a very poignant question about any of these phases. Now, these phases are not endorsed by him, but he definitely asked a question that could help you figure out where you are. He asked very clearly, how is that working for you? If, for instance, you built these very tall emotional walls, you're hyper independent, you can do bad all by yourself, and you have no time for dating and you have no effort to put in dating, and that makes you happy, then do you, boo? Who gonna check you? But if, for instance, that doesn't, if you're sitting at home wishing that you could be with somebody, if you are desiring a connection that's deeper than friendship, if you're looking for companionship, but then your ego is telling you that, no, I can do all bad all by myself, then it might be time to reassess how you're navigating dating spaces. It could be a sign that you're over being single and may need to find some time and effort to put toward your dating life. I've been in the gym so I could do two things. It's one, thirst trap on the internet, and look good for my man when I find one. And that's why I'm excited that support for Dear Black Gay Men comes from Twillery. Black men, whether you're in the gym, like me, or blessed with good genetics, like me, carry our weight in a couple key spots that can make suits and slacks hard to fit and uncomfortable to wear without either having to size up or break the bank in tailoring. But Twillery answers the fit problem with their performance fabrics. It's the right fit for the tailored look and just enough stretch for comfort and breathability. I'm wearing right now the solid performance polo that hugs my chest and arms while tapering just enough at the waist to show off the good parts. Twillery carries suiting, polos, button-ups, and everything to impress at the job or knock someone's socks off on a date. And you can shop for the perfect fit right now at Twillery.com, and we've got a special offer for the DBGM family. Take $18 off your first order by using code M300J. That's Twillery.com, and we thank them for supporting our channel. So, single is no time and no effort. Dating around is time, but no real effort. And talking is the combination of the two, time and effort. But I think the bigger lesson is regardless of which of these phases you find yourself in, the secret ingredient to all of it is intention. But not just your intention, theirs too. This reader said that he gets messages, he gets swipe rights, but no messages. He gets messages, but no responses. And I think sometimes the hard truth that a lot of us do not want to ask ourselves or come to grips with is those are responses. We want people to slap us in the face and be like, no, I ain't into you. But all of their actions are telling you exactly what their intentions are all along. And so if you're looking for a response, a message, a letter, a stool pigeon to tell you I'm not into you, we're not on the same page, and all they're giving you is ghosting, sometimes we have to put our big girl panties on and understand that that is a response all by itself. But the hard part about any of these phases of dating, the hardest part is when you realize that somebody's not on the same phase that you are. If they have a lot of time and effort for dating and you do too, it's magic. It just works. You and he are moving in the same direction at hopefully a similar pace, but at least you're taking strides toward a agreed upon goal. But if I'm dating around, I've got time, maybe even I've got effort to put into a person, I just ain't found them yet, but you single, regardless of how you explained it on the apps, regardless of what's in your profile, if you giving me single energy and I'm trying to talk to you energy, then we have to just acknowledge we're not on the same page. But what happens so much is a lot of us are saying that we are dateable when we're really not. A lot of us are hyper independent. A lot of us are outside. A lot of us don't have a settle down muscle in our body. But then we get on these dating apps assuming that everybody else is treating life the same way we are. But that, friend, is an answer all by itself. People will show you exactly how to treat them. If they're showing you, give me talking stage energy, then you will give them talking stage energy because that's what you have to offer. But if they're showing you, I'm single, but I'm in your DMs. I'm single, but I'm on the apps. I'm single, but I'm, in the dating pool, then we have to be pensive and introspective enough to be able to assess things as we see them. And more importantly, you can't want any more from this person than they have the capacity and the desire to give you. If you want to talk to them, but they only got single energy, we just got to accept that. And I think that's the root of the message that we got. Is you swiping right with the best of intentions, and that's absolutely admirable. But if you're swiping right with people who do not have those same intentions, then it's only going to be met with disappointment. And the lesson here isn't to find a different app or get out of the dating pool or regress into yourself or all the reflexive things that we do. The lesson is to see their intentions when they show them to you and respond in kind. Our job is not to want more for them than they want for themselves. And our job is not to be hard and retreat when we meet someone who does not match our energy. Our job is just to peep game and move accordingly. So, dear Black gay men, it is time for us to ask ourselves, why? That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman. We've got new content every single day on YouTube. Tuesday is Dear Black Gay Men in the Morning, live at 11 a.m. Wednesday, the podcast is new. If you're listening, remember to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really does help us find new listeners. Then the live show is back Thursdays at 8 p.m. because we are out of YouTube jail. I'm so excited about that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload, a post, or a live show. Make sure you're tapped in on IG at Dear Black Gay Men for all of the most up-to-date information about the podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, and I will talk to you next time.